Good day. This is Tracy Davis with a 5-minute faith focus, and we are continuing our study of the Proverbs challenge, 31 days in the month of July, and so we have to get through 31 chapters. So today we are in chapter 14, because today is July 14th, 2017. So we're going to go ahead and get started as we have 35 verses to try to, or lines to get through on today. Line 1. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. And that's just, plain and simple. A wise woman is going to build up her home. It's going to make it nice and neat and decent for her and her family. Okay, but a foolish person, a foolish woman pulls it down with her own hands. And sometimes it's not like taking things and just pulling things off the walls or throwing plates or anything like that. But if you don't clean up in and around your home, then in essence you are, pulling it down. Line 2. He who walks in his uprightness fears the Lord, but he who is perverse in his ways despises him. Okay. Line 3. In the mouth of a fool is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise will preserve them. 4. Where no oxen are, the trough is clean, but much increase comes by the strength of an ox. Line 5. A faithful witness does not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. Wow. 6. A scoffer seeks wisdom and does not find it, but knowledge is easy to him who understands. So let me read that again. A scoffer seeks wisdom and does not find it, but knowledge is easy to him who understands. So a scoffer is going to seek wisdom, but he's not going to find it. But the knowledge is easy to him who understands. And that's, because when we talked about wisdom in the other chapters, how wisdom, wisdom makes everything easy for us to understand. Okay. 7. Go from the presence of a foolish man when you do not perceive in him the lips of knowledge. So, when people are not talking with good sense, you might as well just walk away. Because, it's really not going to profit you to anything to just stay and listen to that foolishness. 8. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. So remember, prudent is what? Applying wisdom. So the wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way. So a person who is applying that wisdom in practical ways is to understand his way. But the folly of fools is deceit. Okay, so that foolishness, that contempt for godly things. 9. Fools mock at sin, but among the upright there is favor. So when you are foolish, you mock at things that are done wrong. That's funny to you, which it should be a shame before God. 10. The heart knows its own bitterness, and a stranger does not share its joy. Okay. 11. The house of the wicked will be overthrown, but the tent of the upright will flourish. Remember, there it goes again. The righteous isn't going anywhere. It's going to continue to thrive and do well. 12. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is a way of death. And so we get a lot of people get caught up in this, thinking that, their way is right. We have a lot of kids who run away from home thinking that what they're running away from is so bad, and when in actuality they're running into their own destruction. Okay, because there's no love in the streets. No love in the streets. 13. Even in laughter the heart may sorrow, and the end of mirth may be grief. So you can have someone who laughing and like they're having a good time, but you don't know what they're going through inside. Their heart is heavy. And it says in the end of mirth may be grief. And so, and at the end of that laughing, it could be grieving. 14. The backslider in heart will be filled with his own ways, but a good man will be satisfied from above. Okay, so the backslider, whenever we don't do what we should do and we go against God, we're hurting ourselves. It's all about us. We're hurting ourselves. 15. The simple believes every word, but the prudent man considers well his steps. So some people believe everything people say. They don't try to analyze anything for themselves. That's simple-minded. That's being naive. You have to be able to process things when people are talking to you. And try that spirit to see if it's of God when somebody's telling you something. 16. A wise man fears and departs from evil, but a fool rages and is self-confident. So, remember, when I talked about turning away, from those girls that were, about to do that marijuana. Why? At that time, as being a teenager, I was wise enough to have a reverence fear from my mom, knowing that I didn't want to get no whipping. I don't like getting whippings, and I don't get whippings for anybody, and I do not get in trouble for anybody. If I know I'm gonna get in trouble with it, or if I know I'm going to get in trouble, don't ask me to do anything. I've always been like that. 17. He who is quick-tempered acts foolishly, and a man of wicked intentions is hated. 18. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil will bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. 20. The poor man is hated even by his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. And that is the truth. That you have people who have money. A lot of people, rich people have a lot of friends because a lot of people want what they have. And so they not really there for that person. They're there on what they can get from that person. Whereas nobody, doesn't want to associate with the poor because why? The poor can't give, don't have anything to give. 21. He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who has mercy on the poor, happy is he. You have to have mercy upon people because it doesn't take long. I mean, we have today and we don't have tomorrow. And sometimes we have today and we don't have today. So don't ever look down your nose at anybody. 22. Do they not go astray who devise evil? But mercy and truth belong to those who devise good. You reap what you sow. You sow evil, that's what you're getting. Sow good, that's what you're getting. 23. In all labor there is profit, but idle chatter leads only to poverty. So if you continue to work and do what you have to do, you're going to make a profit. But if you're just talking around and not doing anything, it's going to lead to poverty. Nobody's not going to pay you just to be talking and not working. 24. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of fools is folly. 25. A true witness delivers souls, but a deceitful witness speaks lies. So a true witness is going to save lives, but a deceitful witness speak lies. difference. One save lives, one speak lies. 26. In the fear of the Lord there is strong confidence, and his children will have a place of refuge. And it's true. When you have that reverential fear for the Lord, you have that confidence. Because you know you respecting God. You know God got you. He got your back, your front, your side, your top, your bottom. He has you. And his children will have a place of refuge. We're going to have a place of shelter. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to avoid the snares of death. Continue to respect the Lord. I'm telling you, he got you. 28. In a multitude of people is a king's honor, but in a lack of people is a downfall of a prince. It's kind of hard to rule people if you don't, to be a king if you don't have any people to rule. 29. He who is slow to wrath has a great understanding, but he who is impulsive exalts folly. And so it's good, like in James 1:19, it talks about it's better to what? To be slow to wrath, slow to speak, quick to hear. Okay? 30. A sound heart is life to the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. And so we had just read about how a shameful woman is rottenness to her husband's bones. Now we have here envy is rottenness to the bones. 31. He who oppresses the poor reproaches his maker, but he who honors him has mercy on the needy. And so just like Jesus has said in Matthew 25, when he talks about whatever you've done to the least of these, you've done it to him. 32. The wicked is banished in his wickedness, but the righteous has a refuge in his death. So the wicked is going to be sent away in his own wickedness, but the righteous has that shelter in his death. So when the righteous die, they have a place to go to. That's heaven. 33. Wisdom rests quietly in the heart of him who has understanding, but what is in the heart of fools is made known. So wisdom rests quietly in the heart of him who has understanding, but what is in the heart of fools is made known. You know why? Because he opened his mouth. 34. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is reproach to any people. So just like we looked at and read in chapter 11, when it talks about if you bless in a city, you exalt in a city. In the same way, righteousness. If our nation has righteousness in it, we wouldn't be going through a lot of things that we are going through with in our nation. Because righteousness builds up a nation. But the sin is a reproach to any people, any nation. Lose the sin, lose the reproach. 35. The king's favor is toward a wise servant, but his wrath is against him who causes shame. The king's favor is toward a wise servant, but his wrath against him who causes shame. A king is going to reward servants that are faithful. But a king also, their wrath is going to kill against him who causes shame, and they're going to throw them people in them lions' den. Whew. Well, we got through that kind of fast. But anyway, that's chapter 14, guys. And about 14 minutes, which is not too bad. So we thank you for your comments, for your likes. And we will be in chapter 15, Lord's willing, on tomorrow. So keep the faith, keep the focus, stay vigilant, and have a good day. I love you.